Thanks for staying with us. A new flight route is opening between New Jersey in the US and Cape Town. The non-stop flight to North America will launch this coming December. Now, SA Tourism has identified the US market as a key area that they need to develop. But while tourism authorities are doing their best to get visitors into the country, there are concerns which remain about tourist safety. Let's cross to our studios in Cape Town, where we're joined by the CEO of Cape Town Tourism, Enver Duminy. Enver, thank you so much for joining us. This direct flight between the US and Cape Town, why is this such a game changer?
Well, thank you, Marcel. It's a game changer for a few reasons. I think, as you had rightly said, tourism has been affected by some negative incidents over the last few years, and we have seen a decline in numbers. And what's important for us is that we need to continue to grow tourism, which of course translates into jobs. And tourism has been agreed to, even on a national level, as the second bigger or most important priority in order to grow the economy. And the specific route between the US and Cape Town, specifically the direct flight, is that game changer, because now we are actually opening up the market to the US in a more meaningful way.
Now, are we saying that the fact that this is direct, I've read somewhere that it cuts about 8 hours off the travel time. Is it such a huge impact on how people decide where to visit if they still need to take an additional connecting flight, as many would have to do, flying to Johannesburg and then on to Cape Town?
So, Marcel, you're absolutely correct. As Cape Town Tourism, we focus on what we call a frictionless visitor experience. And in all our studies, what we've realized, there are two pressures on any tourist. It's time and money. And there's normally a trade exchange between those two. And the direct flight, what it means is that it saves time for the visitor in order to get here, but also then more time in the destination. And secondly is that if the price points are right, it makes it an easier decision for any tourist, where in today's world we are starved for time. And any form of saving in either one of the two is a definite yes decision to go and visit the destination.
Talk to me about the numbers that this new route will come in. I believe I read somewhere that this will bring a 20% increase of the visitors from that US market specifically. There would obviously be a hope that that has an impact on job creation in Cape Town, in the tourism industry and the supporting industries, as well as money being spent in the market in Cape Town.
Well, the numbers that we've received from our partners in what we call the Cape Town Air Access Initiative, which is a partnership between local government, destination marketing organizations and private sector, is that we are expecting about an additional 24,000 passengers over the next 2 years, as well as then we see that translating into about 900 new jobs and about a 420 million rand boost to the economy. So for us, it's significant, especially when you're looking at the current economic situation and the job losses in South Africa. This is a definite boost for us.
Let's talk about the image of Cape Town for a second, if you will. One can't almost go onto social media once a week at least. There's an article about a magazine somewhere or a survey somewhere that has voted Cape Town in a top 5 list or a top 10 list of places to visit, whether for food or just a general tourism experience. But at the same time, the news that we've seen coming out of Cape Town over the last few months has really been tainted by the numbers, the crime levels, as it were. We heard the Minister of Tourism launching an app just to give visitors tips in dealing with crime. How difficult has it been for you and your team to continue to do your work while against the backdrop knowing there's this very real reality that ordinary Cape Townians have to live with on a day-to-day basis?
Well, it has been tough in the last while, but I think, again, our role as Cape Town Tourism, and especially my team, is that we look at the bigger picture, and we understand that every tourist we get here has the opportunity to actually change the lives of Cape Townians for the better. So we wake up every morning renewed and refreshed in order to market the destination. As you said, we continue to get the accolades, which we work hard to get. But that also allows us then to tell a different story to the destination besides the negative media that we have been receiving of late. So it's a balance between making sure that we do go out and market the destination, and second is making sure that whatever we promise out there, that true experience is delivered by our partners in the industry.
Now, we know we've been speaking about trying to get more and more international visitors to come, especially with their very powerful foreign currency. But I know that you and your team are also very passionate about marketing Cape Town as a destination to the people who live there, and of course also South Africans who perhaps have decided not to travel abroad if they've got the money and to rather travel locally. How important is it for that part of your work to ensure that there's an authentic Cape Town experience that's not necessarily just putting overseas visitors in a bus and having them gawk at locals, but as a real authentic experience for Cape Townians and other South Africans as well?
Well, Marcel, the most important thing that people should realize, in order to make a successful tourism destination, you need the domestic tourists and specifically the locals to buy into it. You've seen around the world how over-tourism has impacted our neighborhoods and destinations. And therefore, what our role is not only around destination marketing, but also destination management. And what we do is we actually work with communities, we work with tourism product, and we work with government to make sure that we create these authentic experiences that locals enjoy. Because studies all over the world have indicated that tourists want to hang out where the locals hang out, and they want to do what the locals do. So I think from our side is that we always make sure we promote stuff that are local, and recently we've launched the curated Khayelitsha route, which is a route that was created by the locals for them, that they are proud of, that they use and experience every single day. And all we've done now is we've put it together in a package and supporting them and using digital now to share that around the world, to say to everyone is saying, if you want to come to Cape Town, go to Khayelitsha, do what the locals do, and, you know, become a local.
Do you find sometimes as a born and bred Cape Townian yourself that you need to translate that in as much as it's the Camps Bay, it's the mountain, it's all these beautiful pictures that we see broadcast around the world, that the real heart and joy of Cape Town is in its actual people? Do you feel sometimes you need to try and translate that a bit more?
Well, we have to translate it a little bit more, and I think that's been part of our strategy as Cape Town Tourism, is to move beyond the aesthetics of the destination and focusing a lot more on the people. That's our uniqueness. And I think when a lot of our surveys that we've conducted, both locally and internationally, the thing that always stands on top of that list is the friendliness of the people, how embracing and welcoming we are. And again, we see that as the next level of, if you look at the big six, those are those attractions. We say our people is the other big attraction for this destination. So our role is about making sure that we promote that a lot more, and we've done that through our neighborhood videos, where we get locals to actually take you through their neighborhoods and showcase what they are proud of, rather than us as the destination marketing organization to stand on a platform and saying, go into this neighborhood, into that. So I think that is part of our translation in making sure that the locals actually have a voice through tourism.
Thanks so much. That's an interesting project indeed. Enver Duminy is the Cape Town Tourism CEO, joining us live there from Cape Town. Thank you so much for your time and your insight.